Someone you love has started showing subtle but worrying changes over the past year. Many people assume that death in old age happens suddenly, but the truth is, the body often sends silent signals months or even a full year before life reaches its final stage. The problem is that most people don't recognize these signals because they seem small at first. Only later, when looking back, do families realize the clues were always there. But by then, it's too late to prepare, too late to make those final memories really count. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 key signs that often appear a year before an elderly person passes away. Some of them may be things you've already noticed but dismissed as normal aging. Others might seem like minor changes, but they actually point to a gradual decline in the body. Recognizing these signs in time gives you the chance to provide better care, treasure meaningful moments, and most importantly, ensure that your loved one's final stage of life is filled with comfort, dignity, and peace. Stay with us until the end, because these 5 signs can help you prepare emotionally and practically for what's coming. When you understand what's happening, it won't take you by surprise. You'll be able to make the most of the time you still have with the people you love. Now let's begin. Number 1. Significant weight loss. One of the earliest and most revealing signs that a person may be entering their last year of life is unintentional weight loss. At first, it can be subtle: a belt that suddenly needs tightening, clothes that fit more loosely, or an appetite that used to be strong and now starts to fade. Many families dismiss it as a natural part of aging, but losing weight without trying is rarely a good sign. It often means the body is no longer absorbing nutrients efficiently. Muscle mass decreases, and essential systems begin to slow down. Aging naturally brings some muscle loss, but when it happens too quickly, it's a signal that something deeper is occurring. The body may be struggling to digest food properly, or the person can no longer process proteins well, leading to muscle wasting. This loss of strength not only makes movement harder, it increases the risk of falls, weakens the immune system, and leaves the person vulnerable to infections. Another reason for weight loss in the final year is changes in appetite. Many older people simply stop feeling hungry like before. Their sense of taste fades. Food no longer seems appealing, and they may start skipping meals or eating much smaller portions. This isn't just a matter of preference, it's a physiological change. As the body senses it's beginning to shut down, it stops sending hunger signals to the brain as often. The result is less energy, less strength, and a gradual decline in overall health. Underlying illnesses also play a role. Weight loss is a common symptom of chronic conditions like cancer, heart failure, or kidney disease, all of which can start progressing long before more obvious symptoms appear. Even depression or cognitive decline can lead to reduced food intake, creating a downward spiral where the body doesn't get the fuel it needs. Some families try to fix it by encouraging their loved one to eat more, offering favorite meals or nutritional supplements. But if the weight keeps dropping despite these efforts, it's important to recognize that the issue isn't just diet. It's the body preparing for a deeper transition. At this stage, forcing large meals may not help. Instead, focusing on comfort, easy-to-eat foods, and good hydration can make a big difference in maintaining quality of life. If you notice significant weight loss in an elderly loved one, especially if they're eating less, feeling weaker, or struggling to stay active, it's time to pay attention. This isn't just about physical appearance. It's the body sending a message. Understanding that message now can help you prepare for the road ahead with clarity, compassion, and the ability to make every remaining moment count. Number 2. Extreme fatigue and weakness. One of the most noticeable changes in the year before the end of life is a deep and persistent fatigue that doesn't go away with rest. It's not just feeling a bit tired after a long day. It's an exhaustion so profound that even the simplest tasks feel overwhelming. Getting out of bed becomes a challenge. Walking from one room to another requires effort, and routine activities like cooking, dressing, or even holding a conversation start to feel too exhausting. This isn't simply the result of aging. It's a sign that the body is conserving its remaining energy. As organ function begins to slow, the body starts prioritizing what's most essential. The heart doesn't pump as efficiently, circulation weakens, and muscles no longer receive the same level of oxygen. That's why many older people in their final months feel weak, unsteady, and unable to maintain the same activity level they once enjoyed. Another key factor is the slowing of metabolism. The body is designed to produce and use energy, but as it prepares for its final phase, that energy is redirected. Instead of fueling movement, it focuses on preservation. This is why someone in decline may sleep more, need longer daytime naps, and find it harder to stay awake for extended periods. Some even experience sudden drops in energy, where they seem fine one moment and completely exhausted the next. But perhaps the most heartbreaking part is the emotional impact of this fatigue. Many older adults who once took pride in their independence begin to feel frustrated or even embarrassed that they can no longer do what they used to. They may withdraw from conversations, avoid social interactions, or stop participating in hobbies, not because they don't care, but simply because they don't have the energy. This can create a cycle of isolation that only speeds up the decline. For families, watching a loved one go from active and engaged to exhausted and withdrawn can be painful. It's easy to assume they're being lazy or just need to try harder, but forcing activity won't help. The most important thing is to understand their limits, let them rest when needed, and make their remaining days as comfortable as possible. If you notice a loved one experiencing deep, ongoing fatigue that doesn't improve with rest, take it as a sign that their body is going through a major transition. This is the time to treasure conversations, create moments of peace, and support them without demands. Because in the end, what matters most is not how much they can do, but that they feel loved, understood, and at peace. If you're still watching this video and finding these reflections valuable, comment the number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Your support helps us keep creating good content to inform and inspire you. Number 3. Increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal. As a person approaches the final stage of life, one of the most noticeable changes can be seen in how they think, communicate, and interact with others. You may notice that someone who used to be sharp and engaged starts forgetting things more often, has trouble following conversations, or seems disoriented in familiar places. They may repeat themselves, forget names, or lose track of time, even if they never had memory issues before. These subtle cognitive changes can occur months, or even a full year before death. It's not just everyday forgetfulness. The brain, like any other organ, needs a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients to function properly. But as circulation weakens and oxygen delivery to the brain decreases, cognitive function begins to decline. The person can become easily confused, have difficulty making decisions, or struggle to recognize people and places they've known for years. Another common sign is emotional withdrawal. Someone nearing the end of life often loses interest in social interactions. You may notice they talk less, participate less, or spend long periods simply sitting in silence. It's not that they don't care about their loved ones, it's that their brain no longer processes emotions and interaction the same way. Conversations become tiring. Noisy environments feel overwhelming, and eventually many older people retreat into their own world. You might also see changes in mood and behavior. Some become more irritable, anxious, or easily frustrated. Others seem unusually calm, distant, or indifferent to things that once mattered. This isn't just a personality change. It's often the result of the brain adapting to the body's decline. For family members, this stage can be especially difficult. But it's important to remember they can't control it. Instead of trying to pull them back into conversation, the best thing you can do is meet them where they are. Speak gently, offer comfort, and understand that even when they don't always respond, they can still feel your presence. If a loved one is becoming more forgetful, confused, or less engaged, don't ignore it. These are often early signs that the body and mind are preparing for the final transition. This is a time for patience, treasuring quiet moments, and creating an environment that feels safe, familiar, and peaceful. Because even when words fade, love and comfort can still be felt. Number 4. Frequent infections and slow healing. As the body begins to shut down, one of the clearest physical signs is a weakened immune system. You may notice that someone who rarely got sick now catches every cold, flu, or minor infection going around. What used to be minor illnesses now take much longer to heal, and simple wounds like a small cut or bruise heal noticeably slower. These changes aren't random. They're signals that the body can no longer defend or repair itself as it once did. Repeated infections, pneumonia, urinary tract infections, skin infections, or even oral infections become more common as immunity declines. Even antibiotics that used to work quickly may seem less effective. Another often overlooked issue is chronic wounds. If small scratches, sores, or bruises don't heal properly or keep reopening, it may mean circulation is compromised. Poor blood flow means oxygen and nutrients don't reach the skin and tissues efficiently, making healing much slower than normal. In the final year of life, infections often don't present as expected. Instead of high fever, an older person may simply seem more tired than usual, more confused, or less interested in eating. Recognizing these changes early can make a big difference in how much comfort and support the person receives in their final stage. Number 5. Major changes in breathing or circulation. One of the most revealing signs that the body is preparing for its final stage is a noticeable change in breathing patterns and circulation. You may notice your loved one breathing more slowly or more shallowly than before. Sometimes there are pauses between breaths, or the breathing becomes irregular, speeding up and then slowing down unexpectedly. Some people experience a smooth, rhythmic pattern called Cheney-Stokes breathing, where deep, rapid breaths alternate with long pauses. Another common sign is poor circulation. You may notice their hands, feet, nose, or ears feel cold to the touch. The skin may look pale, bluish, or mottled, especially around the fingers and toes. This happens because the body is prioritizing blood flow to vital organs and reducing circulation to the extremities. Some also experience more difficulty breathing even with minimal movement. Simply sitting, talking, or changing position can leave them short of breath. They may breathe through the mouth more often or need to pause to catch their breath while speaking. For families, seeing these changes can be frightening. But in many cases, this is simply the body's natural way of slowing down. Keeping the room cool, using a humidifier, or offering small sips of water can help ease discomfort. The focus shifts from curing to comforting.